Değerli basketbol severler, Esport ekranlarında 3 saniyeye hoş geldiniz. Bugün Anadolu Efes'in çok değerli oyuncusu Shane Larkin yanımda. Hello Shane.
How are you doing?
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
No problem.
Thank you for this amazing favor for us. How are you? How is it going?
I'm doing well. Everything is well. I feel good. Season's going well, so I'm doing good.
Yeah. And it's going to be like a talk show, I've told you.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a question, answer.
Cool.
So first I want to start with your family, with the genes of Larkin family. So Barry Lewis Larkin, your father, baseball player, Hall of Famer. Lisa Larkin, your mother. Simber, singer, model, and stage name is SIM, right?
CYM.
CYM, sorry.
Yeah.
Brielle, stylist, creative director, and makeup artist, as I searched from the Instagram. And you have uncles as well.
Yeah.
Byron, Mike, Steven, both, like all of them, 3 of them, they're athletes, right? So, coming from a family like this, because I looked at the video, I watched your father's speech on the Hall of Fame, it's like such a great family. From what I've seen, it's like a good energy, positive people, they're smiling always. Really, it's like a blessing. Can you tell about your family and your childhood?
Well, we're a very close-knit group, and that's kind of how I was raised, just family first, family is everything, and we always support each other in everything that we do. So growing up, it was definitely my everything. It's probably who made me who I am today. So very grateful for how close we all have been, from my uncles to my sisters to my mom and dad. So love my family a lot, and I'm really glad that they're mine.
Are they coming to Istanbul?
Yeah, they'll be here in less than 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's great. So your father, baseball player, Hall of Famer. Can you tell me, because I read from your interviews about your relationship, the way that he raised you, but can you tell me a short memory, like a funny memory with your father?
So my dad was like a tough love kind of guy, and I was playing American football when I was probably 8 years old, but I was one of the younger kids, and I was playing with like 9 and 10-year-olds. But I was always fast, so I was playing running back. I got the ball, and I'll run and people try to tackle me. And one time, a guy like knocked me out, like a big dude knocked me out, and I was like laying on the sideline, and my dad came down on the field, and I was like crying a little bit. And he was like, "You okay? You okay?" And he was like touching my body. He was like, "Is anything hurt? Is anything hurt?" I was like, "No, I'm all right." He was like, "You feel like you can keep playing?" I was like, "Yeah," and I was crying. And he like took my face mask. He was like, "Get up then, you so soft." I was like, "All right." I was like, "Don't ever let nobody hit you like that again." So then from then on, I was just like always tough, always got to be tough. And I think that's kind of just the mindset that I grew from that moment. So,
oh wow, that's great, that's great. And by the way, also Shane Larkin's girlfriend is here as well. Welcome, hello. Hello again. So that's great, yeah, being a part of a family like this, and you know your father is a great athlete.
Yeah.
And I also watched your interview when you said, I wanted to create my own name. I wanted to create my own path with my own work, with my own motivation, because you wanted to mention as my success didn't come through my father.
Yeah.
Barry Larkin is the father of Shane Larkin. You said that.
I did say that.
Why?
Just because I've never wanted to get anything because of who he was. You know, he grew up and worked his behind off to try to get to where he was and the success that he had in his sport. And I didn't kind of want to do the same thing that he did, or have people say that the only reason that I'm good at this is because your dad can give you more things than anybody else can.
People said that?
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, you always had like people saying that you're more privileged, so you have more trainers, or you have more time to work out in better gyms with better conditions and stuff like that. So I didn't want to, you know, live in that shadow and do the same things that he did, because if I did, then it would be even more of those kind of conversations. So I kind of just took my own path and was like, I'm gonna do it the hard way and my way, and we'll see where I end up. And
you think it ended up like that?
I mean, I am here. I am where I am today with, you know, in a completely different sport with no help from my father in terms of calls that he could have made or anything like that. So I feel like it worked out for me.
That's great. That's the best. And the topic of Jim Larinaga, he used to be your coach in Miami Hurricanes. So I collected these three names: Brad Stevens, Jim Larinaga, and Ergin Ataman. Three of them, when they talked about you, they said he has this confidence boost. When he gets on the court, he's different. Like he jumps, he steals, he does assists, he scores, he does everything with the speed. And they said, three of them, they said that you have this amazing confidence. How do you think that you get this confidence from who you are, or do you think that basketball gives you that confidence?
I would like to believe I'm a pretty confident person. And I think that just comes from always trying to do the right things with my sport and other parts of my life. So I think if you put the work in, then when you have the biggest moments, when you have the bright lights, I think that all that work that you put in, all the practice that you've done, that's when all that shows. And I feel like I've worked a lot in my life to get to where I am. So there's no reason for me not to be out there and be confident, and that's just how I feel.
But what do you think about these three names?
I mean, they're obviously all great in their own right. And, Jim Larinaga is one of the best college coaches.
Definitely.
Brad Stevens is maybe the best NBA coach at the moment. And, Ataman is a legend here in Turkey. So,
exactly.
They all have been very successful coaching and doing the things that they've done in their career. And for each one of them to feel that I go out and I bring something to the team, and I'm a confident guy, that means the world to me, for sure.
And you also talked about your Baskonia coach as he's the most positive coach I worked with.
Yeah.
Was he? I mean,
yeah, he was very very positive. And I think he was the perfect coach for me to play for my first year in Europe, because it's a big difference.
True.
Playing NBA, playing in Europe. So being able to come to Europe for that first time and having a coach like Sito Alonso that just lets you kind of be who you are. And I remember many times in games, he would yell at me and tell me, he's like, "What are you doing? Like, you're Shane Larkin. Like, be Shane Larkin."
Really?
He's like, "You're not being you." And I guess he was trying to tell me that I was not playing my game or trying to be somebody that I'm not on the court. Sure. And for him to be able to say that and be like, "You're Shane Larkin, be Shane Larkin." Just like, all right. So all I have to do is just be myself, and whatever happens, happens. And I think that really helped me start well in Europe, and now it's helped me grow and get to where I am.
And when we mentioned about Ergin Ataman, I have questions. This is a question for you about him. I know him from my childhood, since I was a kid. I know him. Yeah. He's a great person, really. Out of the court and also on the court, he's a great person. But you know what? I was in Final Four as well, like you are. What happened in Final Four? What do you think about what happened during the last minutes of Final Four game?
I think he saw that our inexperience kind of defeated us in those last few minutes. I think I scored a layup, and it made it like a 4-point game with 2 or 3 minutes left. And down the stretch, Seska had a lot of guys that had been there before: Kyle Hines, DeColo, Sergio Rodriguez, Corey Higgins. They had guys who had been in that situation before, been in the biggest games, been in the biggest stages under the most pressure. And I think those guys, when it came down to that moment, their experience kind of came through. And I don't think any of us had ever played at a championship game before, so I think our inexperience kind of hurt us in that moment. And I mean, it was definitely tough for him to see that. I was up there with him at the press conference before that game, and he was like,
there as well. I asked you a question,
Okay, and he was like, "It's my first time being in the final. It's Efes' first time playing in the final, so we're gonna win."
Exactly. No, I saw that.
That was his whole thing. Like, there's no way we come from last place to a championship game and we don't win.
Did you see Dimitri Sitoidi's face?
Yeah.
He was like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you know?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I asked you that question about the fans, about the Turkish fans inside of the arena. Did you understand what happened?
Oh, because he wanted them to cheer for the Finner fans.
Yeah, exactly. You can say the name.
I mean, I kind of knew where he was coming from because at the end of the day, we're all from here. So if Finner's not going to win it, then why don't we have another team from Turkey win it and celebrate another, you know, Finner won it, what, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Last year, this year it was Ceska, Real Madrid, and Fener.
Okay, so 3 years ago they won it. And, you know, they brought the championship back here to Turkey, and I'm sure it was like a big celebration here.
It was crazy.
Right,
because, no, the Final Four happened here.
Right, true. Yeah, it was here.
Yeah.
So,
it was here.
I mean, I guess he just wanted, you know, there to be more of like a sense of togetherness as opposed to, well, if our team can't win it, then forget you guys. We don't want you to win it. And I can understand both sides of it because at the end of the day, it's like a rivalry. But
yeah, because no one asked to the players what happened. What do you think about what happened over there? Yeah. That's why I wanted to know how do you think about the thing that what happened there. So going back to Baskonia. I checked. Individually, you had more points and you had more assists in Baskonia when you were playing in Baskonia than last year. Was it because you came from NBA right in the time to Baskonia, in Vitoria Gasteiz, and you played there? And when you went back to Boston Celtics and then came back, you think it was like a gap about your performance?
I think my roles on the team that I was on kind of changed. In Baskonia, I was a scorer. I was the main point guard. I had the ball 70% of the time, and I had a lot of activity. And then I went to Boston, and my role kind of was like, all right, you're going to play 10, 15 minutes, and we just need you to go in there and play crazy hard on defense. And if you can score some points for us, then that's what you do. And I think I had a whole year of being that guy. And then coming back to Efes the next year, and they wanted me to be the star again. It's kind of just an adjustment that I had to make, and it took me a while to understand fully what they wanted me to do, how they wanted me to play, and what player that they signed me to be. But once I figured it out, I kind of feel like I did well.
And in Vitoria, I asked you during the Final Four press conference about this. I asked you the question as, you started the season with the slow performance of you, but you boost your performance, and then you came back to who you were right in the time. But yeah, that's right, that's true. And do you see or do you think that you have a huge effect on Anadolu Efes being the finalist of Final Four?
Of last year?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously a team game, so everybody had to do their parts, but I think I definitely played the best basketball in my career in that last 7 games, starting in the playoffs and then all the way into the championship game. I think I played at a very high level. So I'm partly responsible, but basketball is a team game, so it's all of us.
And I see you very humble about this, because I did many interviews with the big names in Europe. But when I asked them about kind of these questions, they're like, you know me, or I know how they act on the court. But you're always humble. You have the ego. We can see that, but you're not showing that. Yeah. How do you manage this? Seriously, how do you control this?
I mean, that's just who I was raised to be. That's just who I was raised to be. My dad was the same way. He was a star, Hall of Famer, all-star, all these things, and he was never a guy who wanted outside of attention. He didn't want everybody looking at him being like, oh, this guy is this guy. He never was a person that boosted himself or talked highly of himself. He was confident in who he was, but he wasn't like, he wouldn't brag about what he did or who he was, and that's just kind of the same person that I am. I don't need to tell you who I am. I just go out there and I play, and I let my game speak for itself.
But NBA affects you in the way of ego?
NBA definitely can affect your ego, but I would say I'm in a, what's the word for it? I was in a different situation than most people growing up, because I grew up around money. I grew up around fame. I grew up around success. So I saw all those things growing up. So when I reached that level, when I got to the NBA and I started having all the people coming around you for the wrong reasons, people wanting things from you and stuff like that, I was used to it because I saw my dad go through it from the age of when I was born until I was 13 years old. So I saw that, I knew that world, I knew that life, and I never really wanted to be a part of it. So, yeah, it never really affected my ego having all those things at all.
Can you name me most humble players in NBA that you know?
In the NBA, most humble?
Is it hard?
I wouldn't say it's hard, but you know, it's just, yeah, there's a few, but you know, those guys are just a little different. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, today I watched the video of LeBron that, you know, giving all the love to fans and everything. And I actually think about, you know, in NBA, when you guys play over there, end of the game, you give away, you know, shoes, jerseys, sign the ball or whatever. Why it's not happening in Europe?
Well, honestly, I think it's because the lack of resources.
Resources,
Yeah,
right?
so I don't know. In the NBA, if LeBron says, all right, I need 200,000 jerseys tomorrow, he gets them. Like if you give away your jersey after the game, the equipment manager's like, what are you doing? Like, we need that for,
really?
You know? So I feel like it's just a lack of resources. And I'm sure occasionally you can give away a jersey after the game and nobody will make a big deal out of it. But if after every game you're giving away your shoes or you're giving away your jersey or you're giving away something that the team needs, then it'll be an issue.
And how do you see the show business here in EuroLeague comparing to NBA?
I mean, the NBA is definitely a show. The NBA is
It's a show.
Yeah, the NBA is a business. Like, the NBA makes a lot of money. People in the NBA make a lot of money, and it's just entertainment. Like, the entertainment aspect of the NBA is we have the biggest people in the world, the tallest, most athletic freaks who can jump from the free throw line and dunk the ball. And I feel like Europe is more so like we have good, intelligent basketball players that know how to play the game. And I'm not saying there's not those kind of players in the NBA, because there definitely are, and there's probably the best players in the world. But it's just a different atmosphere. Like, European basketball is more so like real, genuine, good basketball that guys play together. In the
It's
NBA,
a teamwork.
Yeah, more team oriented. In the NBA, is kind of like, I'm gonna cross you over, do a step back, and try to go dunk on you, or shoot a three and fade away and do all this. And,
exactly.
You know,
but you are doing it still.
Yeah.
On the court, and it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it comes out sometimes because you just enjoy the moments.
Yeah.
But I would say the NBA is where that is more like idolized. Like, everybody wants to do it. So.
True. No, that is true. And what do you think about the Copa del Rey in Spain?
It's a great event. I was able to play in one when I was over there.
Because I asked this because you said it's the most entertainment thing in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, the year I was in Spain, we actually had it in Vitoria, and it was amazing to see the amount of people that came out to that event in Vitoria, and it was just amazing just to see the people in the city, the events that they had in the city, the fans that would travel from Gran Canaria and all the other cities that were playing in that tournament. It was amazing to see. It, you know, obviously now that I've played in the Final Four, that's probably the biggest and most exciting thing I've ever been in. But until that moment, the Copa del Rey was definitely one of the best basketball events that I have been a part of.
But do you have friends who play in NBA and then who are watching some EuroLeague games that you play?
Yeah, definitely. Some of my friends from the Celtics, that was the last team I played for, they still watch some of the games. You know, Daniel Tice is a guy that played in Europe for many years and then went to the NBA, and me and him were on Boston together. Then I came back to Europe, he stayed over there, so, you know, he stays in contact here and there. And, you know, just all the friends you meet from playing the game of basketball with social media and stuff, it's easy to kind of see highlights and see how you're doing. So we all kind of just stay in contact that way.
No, that is true, very true. And when they interviewed you in the media day of Boston Celtics 2 years ago, like you were talking about Spain, you were telling them how Spain is, and the lady reporter, she was like, "You're ready to go back to Europe." and then after a year, you were in Europe. Yeah. Did it affect you in a good way? It's living in Baskonia?
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed my time in Baskonia because I was who I always wanted to be. Like, I was a guy who had the ball a lot. I got to play the game that I loved, the way I loved to play. and I had a lot of support from the city, and I had success doing it. And obviously, the NBA is back home in the United States, where I'm from, where I grew up, where I'm raised, where my family is. Yeah. So that's always a goal. That's always something that you're going to be concerned with, or something that you would like to do. But I've really enjoyed my time in Europe, you know, living in different places, learning different cultures, meeting new people, and just playing the game that I love the way I love to play it. And that's something that you can't always find in certain situations, but the situations that I've been in here have given me that, and I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities that I've gotten, and we'll see what happens.
And how do you see the fans, Turkish fans, in here?
Well, Turkish fans are great. At the beginning of last season, we didn't have like a loyal following to that extent, but as we started winning more games, more fans started coming to the games, right. And then there was more excitement around our team. And then towards the end of the season, we were like selling out EuroLeague games, and the passion that they show, the way they're on the refs, the way they're on the other team, the energy that they bring to the building is amazing. And I wouldn't have known that not being from here. So.
Do you have any crazy moment with a fan that you can say, a memory that happened to you on the street or
on the street?
After the game, before the game?
I can't think of anything crazy that's happened. You know, it's...
Or funny.
I mean, there's... Oh, yeah. Actually, it was funny. It was this year, actually. Me and my assistant, Fatih.
Who's here as well.
Who's in the building. We were so in the beginning of the year, I was having some knee problems, and I was going to our team therapist's clinic on the Asian side, okay. Where Finner is.
Where Finner is, exactly.
Yeah, where Finner is. And I went and I did my treatment, and I was leaving the clinic, and then we went to get just some coffee. Okay. And we're walking in. This guy's like, Larkin. I'm like, what's up? He's like, I hate you, but I respect you. Can I have a picture? I was like, all right. And it was a funny moment, but.
What did you tell him when he said, I hate you, but I respect you?
I was kind of just quiet, like, because he was like a pause of like 3 seconds. He's like, but I do respect you. So I didn't really say anything. I was just kind of looking at him like, all right, what are you about to do?
Anything.
Yeah, and then it ended up being cool. So.
Yeah, the Turkish fans are crazy, but that's great. That's great that they are how they are, right. Because of the basketball, how they appreciate the basketball.
Definitely.
And it's a question that you may not want to answer as a name, but you can say yes or no. Do you think or see any overrated player in Europe who plays in EuroLeague that media puts him there, fans puts him there, but you think that it's okay, he's okay? You can give the name, but it's up to you. It means yes?
I think everywhere that there is judgments or opinions, there's going to be somebody that's overrated and there's going to be somebody that's underrated. So obviously then in EuroLeague, there's some guys that are overrated for sure. And there's some guys that are underrated for sure as well. So I'm not going to give any names of my opinions, but I think there's definitely guys all across EuroLeague, NBA, China, wherever that have that.
China?
Everywhere.
Okay, because there are a few players in China, that's why. Yeah, but so for the next years, where do you see yourself? Let me ask in that way.
I really can't even tell you. I just kind of go with the flow. Mm-hmm. I go where I'm happy, and whatever the best situation for myself is, career-wise, is kind of what I've been doing thus far, and I'm happy with what I've done. And if that means I'm in Europe for the next 4 or 5 years, then I'll be in Europe for the next 4 or 5 years. Or if that means I get the opportunity that I'm looking for in the NBA, then I may go to the NBA. So I don't really know what that is today. I just know that I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy to be playing for Efes again, and having another chance to be able to reach a Final Four and win a championship.
You're happy with Anadolu Efes. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, and that's great. We appreciate it. We all appreciate it. So we have this. You know what does it mean? 3 saniye. I told you.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. Yeah. So we have this game with 10 questions. Yeah. It's regular. There are some of them super easy, some of them, nah. It's up to you. But I'm going to ask you these questions, and then you have to answer it in 3 seconds.
Have to answer.
You have to. There's not going to be like tick, 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 but I will be counting, or you will be counting. Okay? All right. So, shall we start?
Yeah, let's do it.
How many teams are competing in EuroLeague this season?
18.
Check. Who is the head coach of Turkish national basketball team during the FIBA World Cup Championship in China?
Ufuk something. I don't know the last name.
There you go. Yeah, Ufuk Sarıca.
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 I didn't know how to say it, but I knew the first name.
No, but correct. Okay.
Check.
Check. Who is the oldest player, age-wise, in Anadolu Efes team?
Krunoslav Simon.
Bravo. Yes. Who is the Celtics' all-time leading scorer?
Ooh. Larry Bird.
No.
Bill Russell.
Boo. No. Havlicek.
Yeah. Should have known
It's
that.
fine. It's okay. Which famous college coach led the Celtics from 1997 to 2001?
97, 2001. College coach? Was it Pitino?
College? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Check. What is the name of the team that Ergin Ataman coached from 2012 to 2017?
Was it in Gala?
Exactly. Correct.
Galatasaray.
All right. This might be a little hard. Where is the headquarters of NCAA?
Atlanta.
No. No. Indianapolis.
Ah.
Indiana. It's fine. What movie was Larry Bird and Michael Jordan were together in?
What movie were they in?
3.
Space Jam?
Yeah, exactly. Correct. All right. You have to know this because he's your idol. That's from what I...
Besiktas.
Oh my God, I didn't even ask you the question. Did you see?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
You said idol, Turkey. Nah.
But I didn't say Turkey.
Oh, well.
Wow.
I kind of put it together.
It's crazy. Okay. I'll repeat the question for the people who were watching. Allen Iverson, which team did he play in Turkey?
Besiktas.
Exactly. Okay, this is hard. This is hard. But last one. Who is the only college player in Dream Team? 1992's Dream Team.
Leitner.
Yeah.
Easy.
Wow, congratulations. Last question. What do you think about these young kids who are playing basketball? I will give you an example. We can go from that example. For example, there's this young guy who's 18 years old trying to select what to study in a university, but at the same time likes to or loves to play basketball. And he is, in between what to do or being a basketball player, because in Europe it's a really important topic because so many people are watching, young guys are watching you, they are following you, you are their idol, some of their idol. So what do you think, how, I asked the same question to Erman, how they have to or they can manage this situation about their lives?
I mean, it's always tough for you, but life comes down to certain moments and decisions that you make, and I think you just have to really chase your passion and chase your dreams. And if you really love basketball and you're willing to sacrifice certain things and you're willing to put the work in every single day to get better and be able to potentially play this game for a living and live out your dreams of being a professional athlete, then I think that's what you have to do. But if you're not in love with the game, if you don't have the passion for it, if you have any doubts that, I like to play basketball, but I should probably go to school, then maybe school is your thing that you should do. But I think you just gotta follow your passions, follow your dreams, and just give everything you have to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And I think if you do that, at the end of the day, if you give it 100%, you can't look back and have any regrets. I think that's just how you should go about it.
Have you ever had a chance to watch the young team of Anadolu Efes, the young kids? I
haven't had a chance to watch them, but a few of them have come up and practiced with us a couple of times, and I've seen their talent there. So.
You should watch them.
Yeah, I'll probably
one
check them
time.
out.
Yeah,
I'll check them out.
Because they need your guidance, maybe.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
But thank you for coming. Thank you for being with us.
No problem.
Thank you so much. And see you maybe for the next time over here in our studio. And we
Sounds
are the
good.
broadcaster of NBA in Turkey, actually.
Cool.
Yeah, that's sport. Thank
See you
you.
then. No
Thank you
problem.
so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to our show. Değerli basketbol severler, haftaya 3 saniye programıyla tekrardan karşınızda olacağız. Hoşça kalın.